Hello people! Today we're going to be doing a set of Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Okay, I've prepped some medium length coffin tips already, and we're going to be starting off with a black base coat here. And as always, we're going to put very thin coats if we're using black so we don't get wrinkles. And before I forget, this set took me 3 hours and 45 minutes to do. Now there was a lot of it that was experimenting and me trying to figure out what to do. I didn't have a fully fleshed out plan when I sat down to do these nails. I had a theme, which was Day of the Dead. I had the skulls and I had a color palette, and that was it. So I just had to kind of wing it here as I was going along, which always takes me extra time because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Okay, those have been cured and we're on to the second coat. So we will just go along and I will try to explain what I did as I did it. Now some of this stuff may be out of order in the order that you would want to do it if you were starting off to make this whole set, because some things I thought of, oh, I want to do this, and I should, it was something that could have been done earlier when I was doing other hand painting stuff, so then I go back and do it later. But anyway, we got there in the end and I got them done eventually. It took me 3 afternoons to do this bloody set, so I hope people like it. I thought it turned out kind of cute myself, but I'm not the one that's probably going to be wearing it. So actually, on the bright side, all of these nail sets that don't sell, that are the same size that I wear, eventually when I can't do my own nails anymore, I'll still have all these probably, and I will be able to just put them on. Anyway, moving on, I'm giving one layer of this Beetles. It's a purple polish with the glitters in it. It's got some little chunky bits and then the fine glitter. We're just going to do this on all the nails except for the thumbs and the middle fingers. They just gave it a little subtle glitter, which what I was going for. Okay, these are the skulls we're going to use. I got them, of course, from AliExpress. And our trusty gem glue. Okay, we're going to put a pretty hefty blob on here. Now the skulls are very light. I don't know what they're made out of, but they're very light. I guess some kind of plastic maybe, I don't know. So we're going to pop them on and then we're going to cure that right away so he stays still. Okay, once I get him back out, we're going to use some black painting gel. And what we're going to do is we're going to paint some stuff onto the skull. Okay, and firstly I'm just going to go around just the inside top edge of the eye sockets. Now this first one took me a little longer because, as I said, I was trying to figure out exactly what I was going to do here. But the ones after this, which I did off camera, went quicker. So, you guys know how it is. Once you've done something once and you got to go back and do it again, it's much easier and quicker the second time because you know what you're doing. On an unrelated note, you guys, I am covered in mosquito bites. I just got 6 new bites yesterday, and I don't know what it is with me and these mosquito bites, but when I get one, it makes a humongous welt, like I'm talking the size of the palm of my hand, a welt, and then right where the bite puncture is, I get a little blister on there. And they're just kind of, not only do they itch like hell, but they're just kind of freaking me out right now. Anyway, that is all. Okay, now I'm going to go around the top and bottom of the mouth, like right above where the little teeth are on there. Okay, I don't know what I was looking at, but I think I was trying to see where the actual teeth were, because I think the mouth is a little wider than you first think it is as you're going through here. And we're going to go along the bottom of it, of the mouth part. And when I get that done, then we got to go around the side. Now this one came out a little sloppier looking than the ones that I did after this. And fair warning, I am going to be out of shot on some of the stuff here. I tried to edit most of it out, but some of it is going to remain. And then I'm just going to paint some up and down lines, you know, for the dividing of the teeth. Although granted, there's a lot more of the little teeth in there than what I painted on the lines, but I didn't want too many. And then I decided on the top of the head I wanted some kind of a simple design, so we're just going to do kind of like sort of a almost like a teardrop thing, but kind of long and skinny. And I am going to do 5 of those. One down the center, one like at the outer edge of the eye socket, and then in between those two. I didn't think about this till later, but it kind of looks like he has weird hair. And then also I decided on the sides, I needed something simple on the sides. I was going to do those same kind of marks, but not the fatter part at the top is going to be closer to the eye, to the center of the face, and then skinnier at the end, at the side edge. Just something simple. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I decided that underneath the chin, around that jawline there, or not jawline, but the underneath the chin part here, I decided that just needed a little bit of something. Okay, now on this one you're not going to see it because I did it on later ones, but I came back and filled this one in. But I'm also going to fill in the nose holes, the 2 nose holes, which you're not going to see it, as I said, on here, but when you see this again, it will be filled in. Okay, and I believe we're ready to cure that one. I know it looks a little sloppy. It was kind of hard to paint on there because it's got all kinds of little grooves and design and things, you know. It's not totally smooth is what I'm trying to say. Okay, now moving on with the white gel paint. I just came up with a real simple scallop kind of design around the edge of this nail. This is going to be the index finger. And as you can see with that glitter polish, it's just a very subtle bit of glitter on there. I just thought it needed a little something, so they weren't just going to all be plain black. And then I had to try and make sure I get the same number of scallops going down this side as I did on the other side. Voila. And now we will fill those all in with white. Now this part I have sped up because I don't think you guys want to sit here and watch me color these all in slow-mo. As is my painting style, is very slow. And we're just going to fill all these in. And then we will go ahead and cure them. Once that is done, yeah, I really didn't know what to do with the other nails that weren't going to have the skull on there. I didn't want to completely put like a whole ton of flowers on everything, but I kind of did get a little carried away with the flowers, using more than what I originally had planned on using, but I think it needed it. Or it could just be me, and I just like gluing stuff on there. You guys know me. I loves my embellishments. You know, these scallops could have been a bit neater and more uniform, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay, and when I'm happy with this, which I'm not yet, we will cure that. Here it goes. Now this is the pinky nail. I am just going to do a little bit of a scallopy kind of design on here. And then once again I will fill this all in. I didn't really hardly need my detailer brush for this part. I could have probably done this with a bigger brush. It would have been quicker. I really wasn't sure what to put on here for something as a design on these. As I do seem to recall that a lot of these things have kind of lacy, kind of doily things hanging down as decoration, so that's kind of where I was thinking. Okay, moving on, we're going to be using this kind of dark periwinkle of Beetles, and there will be another one, this blue. I use this blue kind of a lot, so you guys have seen this one a lot. There's the color of that periwinkle one, because I forgot to show you. Now the reason I went with these two colors and I didn't use a whole bunch of different bright colors was because originally I was going to use a different glitter that had the blue, purple, and silver bits in it, but I changed my mind on that one. But that's where the blue and purple came from for the color palette. Anyway, we're going to go and paint, like fill in a little, like maybe half circle bit on every other one of these scallops with the blue. And sorry I'm out of shot. I don't know why I'm having such a problem with that lately, but it seems to be getting worse. I think problem is I get so involved in what I'm actually doing that I'm just doing it and I'm not remembering to glance up at my phone to see if I'm still in the shot or not. Okay, now we're cleaning the brush, and then the other ones we will fill in with the purple. Well, I'm calling it purple, periwinkle, whatever. We're going to call it purple from now on. I'm thinking maybe I should have done the same design on the pinky nail, but I did not, and it's too late now. And I did not speed this part up because I don't know why, but okay, and when I'm happy with that, we will be ready to cure that again. There it goes. And then on the pinky, I'm just going to paint like little scallopy lines like inside of the initial ones there, which we're not going to fill anything in. We're just going to have this stripe along here like this, and then I will do a blue one on the inside of that one. Okay, a little bit of cleanup. And then we'll switch to the blue and do the same thing again, only with blue. Yeah, as I'm looking at this, I'm thinking I would have liked it better if I'd have done the same design I did on that other one. And we're just going to neaten up some of these little spots where it's thin. Okay, little dab of cleanup. And that's ready to cure. Okay, moving on. Now we're going to make flowers out of those same two color polishes. This is the mold I'm using. Okay, now I'm going to, however many of these I end up making on here, originally I wasn't going to have as many flowers as what I ended up with, so I didn't make all that many to start with. And I had to stop what I was doing twice during this whole process and make two more batches of flowers. So that was a big part of the time consuming factor, because this does take a while. Now I'm poking down in all the petals of all of these just to make sure there's no bubbles under there, and then I'm scooping out where there's extra on one and putting it in some that maybe could use a little more. And now I will do the cleanup process. I'm just using alcohol on my brush, and I want to clean up any of this overage. I know it's time consuming, but trust me, you want to do it now rather than leave all that on there, and then when they come out, then you've got to sit there with these teeny tiny little bits with an X-Acto knife or your scissors trying to hold on to these tiny little things and cut the excess stuff off or trim it off, and it's just a royal pain in the butt. So take the time to clean your mold up as you're going along before you cure it, and it will save you that much aggravation later. And just try to scoop it towards the center and then clean off anything that's still on the outer part. Now some of those could have been done a little better. Yeah, there we go. That was bothering me. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing with the blue on this side. Now, as I said, I should have filled in all of them except for the huge flowers as I was going. I could have saved myself some time, I think. Okay, I want to make sure the mold is full, but we don't want it overflow. Okay, then we got to clean this side up now. Those two needed a bit more. Actually, we got to poke them all first and make sure there's no bubbles in there. Did I not do that on these? Maybe I didn't. Looks like I forgot to do that on these. I guess I got lucky then that I didn't have any that came out with big bubbles. The first couple times I used this mold, I didn't poke them down, and most of the flowers came out with huge bubbles in the petals, which left, you know, a big blank spot after they were cured. So then I couldn't use them. They had to be thrown out and done again. But so far I've gotten quite a lot of use out of this mold. I just love these little flowers, and they come in, you know, 3 different sizes. Plus I can use whatever gel polish I'm using for the set. So okay, now that has gone in for 90 seconds. Now it came out. Now we flip it over like this, upside down, and we put it back in for a second 90 seconds with it upside down like that. Okay, now they're all cured and they're out, and now we're just going to take them out of there. They should easily pop right out. Okay, and the blues. I think I paid $5 for this mold, and I've gotten, I don't know, I've used it probably at least a half a dozen times so far already. But I like how it, as I was saying anyways, I like how it can get the flowers to be an exact match of color as to, you know, other places where I've used those colors in the project. Okay, that's the initial batch of flowers I made. I went in and made 2 more batches like that because I needed a lot more than I anticipated. Okay, these flowers I already have pre-made. These came this way. Of course, they came from Ali. And then silver caviar beads. Now those beads are a little bigger. Okay, we're going to start off with the skull. I'm going to put a blob of glue partially on the head and partially on the nail part. And then we'll start off with the rose. Get that on there where I want it. And then I will cure that, which I have done. And now I'm moving on to adding these other flowers. Now I don't know if it's going to show right here, but there's a hair on one of these that I ended up pulling the whole thing off again, but trying to pull the hair off of it. But I'm trying to get them, see, there's the hair. I'm trying to get them at an angle so that it's partly on the skull and partly on the actual nail base there. Okay, there we go. There's that stupid hair. Okay, then we're going to add a couple of these little ones. One on either side. A little bit more glue. Now originally I had pulled out purple roses to go with this, but the purple was more of a pinky purple and it just didn't match, so I pulled out these blue roses and they matched that periwinkle pretty closely. So that's what we got. Okay, that's where we are so far, and I'm going to cure that right there as it is. I know it looks like I'm just looking at it and staring at it, but I'm thinking, what am I going to do next here? Okay, well, next thing I did was I put the caviar beads in the centers of these, and I put glue in the eye sockets because we're going to put crystals in there. I tried to put one of those tiny flowers in. I tried one out before I started because all the sugar skulls I saw had flowers for the eyes, but I could not get those little flowers to scrunch down in there and still look nice, and just laying them on top looked weird to me, so that's why I opted for crystals that are going to go in the eyes. Okay, and eventually here I'm gonna, or not, yeah, that one just did not want to stay, it kept coming out. Okay, we're gonna use just these plain old blue crystals, and I will have purple crystals in the other ones, but those are the ones I'll be doing off camera. So we're just gonna drop a couple of these in there. And shove them down inside so they're in the glue really well. I think this guy ended up with two slightly different sized eyes. Okay, now I've cured that all, and now we're going to add all around here. I'm putting a line of glue, and what I had decided to do was I didn't want to surround the whole thing with flowers, so I decided to outline around there with caviar beads. Now in hindsight, I'm not super happy with the way that looked, and it occurred to me last night when I was laying there in bed trying to fall asleep, if I had done a caviar bead, then a crystal, then a caviar bead, a crystal, and did that as the outline around, I think that would have looked a lot better. And if I have to remake these nails again, that's what I'm going to do. I think that just would have looked nicer. But I had the worst time getting these guys on here to stay. You know, getting them all around in here. Now I had taken some of the caviar beads and mixed them in with a little bit of top coat, so they're already going to be covered in top coat, and it will help them stick on there better, which I don't think that was the problem, but yes, it might have been. But I didn't get, this is after this first one, I didn't get them done fast enough, and with them sitting there on my desk under my desk lamp, which is LED, most of the caviar beads ended up curing in the top coat on my palette there. So then I just went back to the regular way. Trying to get these little guys in there, and then every time I would get them all snugged up nicely in a nice smooth line, then I'd go to the other side and straighten those out. By the time I get that done, the first side had moved again. See how they don't want to stay nicely together? They just keep moving around. Now this side's off. Now after I went back and forth, I don't even know how many times, trying to get this to be all snugged up in here nicely. Eventually, I got tired of that, and I broke out my LED flashlight, and I cured one side at a time, because I just knew by the time I moved it from here to put it in the lamp, that those beads were going to move around on me again, and I did not want that. So this is me fighting with this thing, trying to get it to stay. I think pretty soon here we're about to get out that flashlight, because I was getting very frustrated and tired of messing around with these. This should not have taken this long for this little step here. And as you can see, we're making a massive gluey mess there on the nail, which we'll straighten out later when we top coat. Now watch those. As I'm snugging up this other side now, they're just going to start moving around over there again, and they're all going to be out of whack. See? Oh, that was annoying. It's making me upset again just watching it now. Alright, now I'm digging around for my flashlight, because I'd had enough for it then. Alright, now we got to get them in line again. Get them straightened out. Alright, get them all snugged up on that side. And hurry up and cure that side real quick before they move on me again. Now the ones I did after this, I did not have this problem with. So I'm thinking maybe it was because I had mixed those caviar beads in with top coat. Maybe it was just making them too slick and they just didn't want to sit still. I don't know, but because I've done that before and I didn't have this kind of an issue, but I wasn't trying to snug them all up next to something either. I was doing them in like lines of, you know, or swooshes or something. Okay, those are cured enough for now. Let's See, now they've moved a little bit on me, but that's the way they're going to have to be. Okay, so now moving on, I am going to put a couple of flowers down here on the bottom. One big one and one little one. Oopsie, that one's trying to escape. Okay, and I'm going to turn that so that it's got kind of like a flattish spot up against his chin. And then a little one down in here. That little one actually looks like it's got some stuff that needs cleaned off of there, but I missed it. Okay, I've cured those. Now we're just going to go in and put the caviar beads in the middle of those two flowers, and then this guy will be done. And the rest of the nails with those that are like this I will do off camera. And there he is, all finished. Okay, moving on. Now this is the green I wanted to use. Now I tried painting that on and it didn't want to show up over the black. So now we are going in and we're going to paint some random leaves on here. Firstly, we have to use the white gel paint. Now this is the index finger and I'm just doing 2 leaves on here. We'll be putting a flower in the center there. Okay, that's ready to cure. And then also, this is the ring finger. I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to do 3 leaves on here. See, this could have been done when I was painting the other parts. Okay, now that those are cured, we're going to go over them with that green that I showed you earlier. And we're just covering over where the white leaves are, and that's it. Easy peasy. But now we have leaves that are going to show up. Now I thought about using my molds to make leaves because I have some different leaf molds, but all the ones I had were just kind of too big and I didn't really want to do them that way. I wanted the flowers to be like the focus of the stuff. So those are good and ready to cure. And I'll do the same thing on this one. You don't have to be super careful. If a little bit of it slops over onto the black, you're not going to see it anyway. It's not going to show up. So, I mean, try to keep it in the white, but it's not super critical if it goes out a little. Okay, and those have been cured. Now we're moved on. Now I forgot to hit record when I started on this one, but you can see what I've done so far. I've got a rose, a big flower, a little flower on there. Now I'm just adding in some random crystals here and there. Some of the blue, some of the purple. We're just going to put them on. Not too many, just a couple. Well, maybe a few, like maybe 4 I think I put on. Just not a lot, but just some. Just to give it a little bit and fill in some of these spots. And now I've cured it. Now this one also just has one of the bigger flowers on it with the caviar bead. That's the index finger. Now we're back to this one. I had cured what I did so far, and then now I'm adding a few more spots of glue where I'm going to put caviar beads in the centers, and then a few random ones here and there around the sides. Not too many, just to fill in some spaces. stick one in there. Maybe one up here. One down here. Maybe kind of a second one over there. I just want to have them on here so it kind of helps tie in some of the other places where I've used them. Oh, that one's trying to get away. Okay, maybe one more. Okay, I think we're good. That's ready to cure again. And moving on to the pinky nail, putting some glue on, and we're just going to put one rose on here with a couple of random caviar beads around the sides of that. I had decided, oh, that black, you see how there's black roses up there? I used black roses on the skulls of the middle fingers, and then either blue, either the lighter blue or the darker blue on the other ones. And as I said, we're just going to put a couple of these on just to tie that in. Excuse me. Okay, now I've cured those, and here's where we are so far. We're just ready to do top coat next, and then we're in the home stretch. Okay, this is a tempered top coat that I normally use. We are going to go around all of these, being careful not to get it on the crystals. Now you can get it on the flowers, you can get it on the caviar beads, just don't get it on the crystals. Now I'm being a little more careful on here because I was trying not to get it on the flowers, but it doesn't really matter if you do. Just as long as you just smooth it out, which you guys can't see because I'm out of shot again. Okay, and don't forget to cap the free edge there. Also, when you were painting the hand painting part of this one, you wanted to make sure you got that free edge with the white and then with that purpley one. Okay, see, now that one you can see where I slopped a little bit of it up onto the flower. Okay, moving on. The main reason is to get rid of all this gluey mess that I have created on here and make it look nice and neat. I did get a little bit much on there. I had to wipe some back off. Okay, as you can see, that was the one that had the black rose on it. And we're going, now this is the one you got to be careful because this one's got crystals that are interspersed amongst this other stuff. So this is where I had to be kind of careful not to get it up on my crystals. Okay, and we got the pinky. This one's an easy peasy one. They don't have a bunch of extra junk to worry about. And we're almost there, guys. Hang in. We're going to cure those. And we have, and there's the finished set. Dia de los Muertos. My Day of the Dead. Okay, they're not a Halloween set, but you could wear them for that, I guess, if you wanted to. Anyway, if you like them, please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, I upload every Saturday. And that's all I have this time. See you later. Bye.